Today I wanted to spend some time underwater looking at our favorite topwater lures so we can see what they really look like from a distance and how we can think about them two different ways that will really enhance our topwater fishing and make them viable options throughout the day, not just during low light periods. Bass tend to eat on the surface when they notice one of two things: something struggling, a really easy meal, or when there are other bass feeding and chasing bait. Well, our approach to the two ends of this topwater spectrum are quite different. First, let's think about something struggling on the surface or what appears to be a real easy meal. This could be a bug, it could be a baby bird, whatever it might be. But in all these situations, there is some ripples that are coming off from this creature that is panicking or struggling on the surface. But what it doesn't have is a lot of distance covered horizontally. We can think about frogs kind of the same way when they're moving slowly from one place to another, or just kind of sitting there in one spot. They present that easy meal, but they're not covering a lot of distance. And this type of topwater fishing, or thinking about this struggling type of a prey species, is best mimicked or imitated by things like poppers, prop baits, and hollow body frogs. And then when we take this mindset, this approach of something struggling and a meal that is an opportunity for a predator, all of a sudden that middle part of the day when we often want to put our topwaters away, well, if we have this approach, we know that a bass is likely to take the opportunity or likely to go after this struggling prey or an easy meal throughout all parts of the day, not just only in low light periods. The next topwater approach is very different. It's at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and really if we want to sum it down to two words, it would be fleeing baitfish. How often do we see minnows skipping across the surface or shad skipping because something is chasing them? When other predators in the area, other bass in the area see this, it gets that feeding instinct going. Think about the times that you've brought a lure up to the shoreline or to the boat and there's 2, 3, 4 other bass there trying to get the lure out of the mouth of the one that is hooked. Well, that is a prime example of this feeding frenzy that we try to activate, try to get going when we use this topwater approach of this fleeing baitfish pattern. And this is where moving topwaters really excel. Think about your buzz baits, your lures that are like whopper ploppers and walking topwaters. They cover that distance horizontally, and this is exactly what they're trying to do: create that surface commotion that looks like that feeding activity, that fleeing baitfish situation is going on. But the trap when we're using moving topwaters, it's so easy as anglers, it's human nature just to throw it out there and get in one kind of pattern or rhythm and just reel and crank it back to us. Well, when you observe baitfish, minnow, shad that are skipping across the surface, they are anything but steady in their movements. So this is where something that is simple, and then when we watch it under the water, we're twitching our topwaters, twitching those whopper ploppers, and varying that cadence in a walking bait is going to create that more erratic movement to get that feeding instinct triggered. Now, there are times when just a slow, steady retrieve is gonna work, but if you're out there with your topwaters and you're starting to lose confidence in them, think about, how can I make this look like baitfish that is trying to get away? When we keep these two very distinct approaches in mind and think about what it looks like under the water, not just from our point of view, it just opens up that topwater world for much longer than we normally would try it, and it can give us so much confidence as anglers knowing this is exactly what I'm trying to do with this topwater lure. And hey, if you want to watch a video that talks about different brightness of lures and how they can attract bass from a distance, go ahead and check this one out right here, and make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.